Hey,
Hi.
how are you?
Excellent. Thank you. How are you?
Oh, good. It's a good day. I'm feeling
Is
good
it?
today.
Yes, it is.
It's a good day, right? It's
Yeah, man.
well, no. First, I want to open up with because this story I told my mom the other day, and she's like, "Nick, how do you remember that?" So when I was like 4 or 5 years old, it was the first time I actually listened to a cassette. And my mom had like a boombox in the living room, and it was like the record player at the top, the cassette player in the middle, and then at the bottom you put all your vinyls and you put all your cassette tapes, and it was a glass door over it. So you opened the glass door and you could,
I
and my,
remember all of that.
yeah, my mom would always get mad at me because I would put like smudges on the glass, and she's like, "Hey, I just Windex that down. Don't touch that, Nicholas." The full name,
I remember.
and yeah, and I remember the first cassette I ever played was Spanish Fly, and I remember seeing you in the middle, and I was like, "Ooh, she's pretty,"
Oh,
and I
thank
was
you.
like, and I listened to Head to Toe was the first. I think I was either 4 or 5 because I remember I was in preschool,
Hmm.
and you were like the beginning of my music journey of knowing at such a young age because I didn't buy toys. I mean, I had toys, but I loved my music. Like,
Oh, thank you. And
yeah,
you're just like me.
right,
That's what I always
yes.
did. Yes.
That was so I want to thank you like for just starting my journey of knowing. I was like, then I wanted to know who Lisa was. I remember seeing you on TV, and my mom showed me your other cassettes and other vinyls she had, and I'm just like, okay,
Oh,
cool.
thank
Like,
you.
yeah,
Thank
but
you.
just a
No,
crazy memory that I don't know how I remember it, but
that's great. That's
yeah,
great.
it's a good thing. But first, I want to ask you, this quarantine. I'm so excited. You're announcing shows now. And but what did you learn from this quarantine starting out? What has it taught yourself?
That I suck as a teacher. That I can't do it. That's why I have an accountant because I'm not good with numbers. Math, I suck at. I'm great with history and anything else, English and stuff like that. But when it comes to math, don't ask me. Ay, Dios mío. Um, that I love my kids so much that I don't want to kill them. Uh, that it's okay that we all this too shall pass and we will all you know get through this if we do the right thing by not just ourselves and our kids but by our elderlies, that desperately need for we as people to use
Yeah,
your head, wear a mask, wash your hands, get vaccinated.
right. I'm vaccinated. I feel good. We good. We good.
I'm good. I'm ready to go.
Right. That's how I feel. I'm like, hey, let the concerts happen, let the festivals happen. I'm ready. As long as majority of people are well, as long as we're vaccinated and everyone around you, I feel
Yes.
it's pretty good. I feel like we shouldn't have. Not saying we don't have to worry, but it's less worrying than
Right.
this past year.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I want to go back. Just growing up in NYC, what was it like? Because I always get jealous of native New Yorkers. It's just a place I always wanted to be born.
Really?
Yeah, I mean everything's there. It's the Mecca. It's what you think of when you think United States. It's
I
New
hear
York.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I get that same question from everybody. That's so funny. It's home to me. It's home. Everything there is comfortable to me. I mean,
hmm,
it's really fast paced,
yeah,
really, really fast paced. So I suggest anybody who comes to visit New York, especially Manhattan, where I'm born and raised, um, come with time because there's a lot to do and it goes fast. It
yeah,
goes fast. So it's
yeah,
being raised in New York to me made me who I am.
yeah.
Um, I'm the youngest of 10 and was born in Hell's Kitchen, Midtown Manhattan, 2 blocks away from Times Square.
Woo.
Um, Back in the day, it was about the Irish mafia and the Puerto Ricans that lived in that neighborhood, and we were all very close knit. We took care of each other, which was great,
Hmm.
and I thank God that it's still the same. It
Yeah,
may be up and coming, and a lot of tourists and buildings and a lot more, uh, I say yuppies
Yeah,
that moved into the neighborhoods, but it's still very close knit. Everybody
yeah,
knows everybody there.
that's the best.
It is. I
It's
have to
the
say it
best.
is. It
Yeah,
is.
when everyone knows, because you kind of have each other's back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Regardless if you're best friends with them,
yeah.
if an outsider comes in, everyone protect. That's how kind of my neighborhood is in Chicago. We're
Oh, you
very,
see? But
yeah, you know,
Chicago is just like New York, I gotta tell you. It
yeah, in a
really
lot of
is.
ways.
It
Yeah,
is. We're all close knit. Let me tell you something. I remember walking down the block and in 2 seconds my mom knew I was down that block.
right.
And it was like a chain reaction. The building here, we went straight down to the corner and they would yell out, "Go home!" Like, damn it.
Damn,
They knew.
those are the best. Yeah, I feel it's sad because a lot of kids don't know that today. Some
I know
neighborhoods,
they don't.
yes, but not as much as I feel back in the day where everyone knew each other and you didn't have cell phones, but your parents knew where
No.
you were.
Yeah, I remember everything was payphones, but even then, in our neighborhood, we didn't have a payphone, and the
Mm-mm.
payphone for us was yelling out the window, "Yeah, your
Yep.
mom's looking for you."
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
how it
that was how
was.
we knew when the lights went out on the block. That was when we needed to get home.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That
today these kids are so lucky with all the platforms that they have. All the
so
media
different,
and everything electronic. They are so lucky.
right? I remember using the payphone and doing the 1-800 collect, and my
Remember
parents
that?
screaming at me for getting the charge for the 99 cents or a
Five
dollar.
more cents.
Yeah,
We had 15 cents. Remember
yeah.
that? I remember the phone cards. I would be on, when I first went on the road, I would stop at a truck stop and I'd have the phone cards and having to buy so many just to call home.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I miss sometimes. It's like the like you said, kids will never know. It's just
Oh,
it's
they'll
so
never know.
different. Yeah.
It is.
But I know you started really young in music. So like I know you said in previous interviews as well, at first it was just like fun. It was just something for you like to, show the world and not even the world, just show people around you could do it and you could sing and you enjoyed it. So like what age did you know like, hey, I could kind of like we could do this. Like I could kind of see this as a career or somewhere to take me in my
You're,
career.
g- you're gonna be surprised. I remember I got my first solo because I was raised in the church choir with my
Hmm.
mom. We were called Las Hijas de Maria, and
Hmm.
my mom ran that choir. And I remember I got my first solo when I was 6, and I sang La Ave Maria. And I saw her in tears. I was like, yeah, I think I want to do this.
Yeah.
I really like this reaction I'm getting and the feeling I'm getting. I guess I'm pleasing people. And as I went in, my oldest sister, she got me involved with this company. It was called Intar, and it was a lot of the Latin community, and it was a theater, like a musical theater group. And I was on the stage performing with my sister and everybody. Um, and as I got older, and not
Hmm.
much older, I
Yeah.
remember being 12, 11, 12 years old and sneaking out of the house and stealing clothes and shoes and makeup from my sisters because I'm the youngest of 10. There was 7 girls and 3 boys, still is. Um, and going up to Ninth Avenue, they had all, and they still do have like the bar restaurants, and they always had a live band performing, and I would beg them, please let me sing. And then they started paying me like $20 to sing standards, and I was like, I have to continue doing this. I love it.
Yeah.
I knew then. And then I got to meet Full Force when I was 13. So
Yeah, I want to ask you, like, how did you all meet? Like, how did you know, like, yo, these are people I want to work with? Because it's hard, I feel, to find, like, your tribe, I feel, in the music industry.
yeah, it is definitely people you can trust.
Yeah.
um, I was told by a friend of mine that he had a friend who was a roadie for Full Force. I was like, I don't know who they are, so that he was like, just come down and let's go and meet this guy. And I was like, okay. So we went and we snuck into the fun house
Okay.
on Hughes. That was a huge, one of the best and biggest clubs in Midtown Manhattan. Um,
Good times.
I got there and I met Mike Hughes. And he said, "Yeah, I heard you could sing." I said, "Yeah, well, I know I could sing." I was 13. What the hell? He goes, "Listen, come down to this audition." So I went to the audition the next day. I snuck out of school. I remember I didn't go to school. By the time I took a train actually to Brooklyn to
Okay.
Church Avenue, and by myself, and I waited and waited. It was a basement of a house, and I waited so many hours. It was almost midnight when I finally got in, and Mike introduced me to Full Force, and I was like, "Well, can I sing for you?" And they're like, "Yeah." I sang for them, and they gave me this cassette with a song on it, like the chorus to it,
Hmm.
and they said, "Come next week. Here's the address. Meet us at this studio. We're gonna work." So I was like, okay. That night, I remember getting home. My mother had the cops there waiting for me. I got in so much trouble. The cops were there. I was like, he was like, Nick,
And then,
me. But anyway, she kind of understood. She was the only one who understood. But the following week, it was a Tuesday. I remember I get to Midtown, and that's how we went. 43rd Street and Broadway, there was a studio there called Unique Studios.
okay.
And I went in there, and I remember that night we recorded two songs.
Oh, and you said 47th on Broadway, so you were in the
47th and
right
Broadway,
in the middle of
right
Times
down the road from
Square.
my house,
Yeah, I was saying you're in
right
like the
there.
Mecca. You're
Yeah, right by my house. So I get there and we recorded two songs that one night. And that those two songs were "I Wonder If I Take You Home" and "Can You Feel the Beat." And then they told me that we're gonna get a record deal. I was like, okay. So they had to come and meet my mom. These big dudes. I was like, my oldest brother Raymond is a war veteran.
okay.
He did 3 tours in the Vietnam War. So he was in fatigues when they came to meet my mother, and they were like, "Whoa!" But it turned out really, really well. My mom was like, "Listen, if this is what you want to do, go ahead and do it." And she signed that contract for me, and off I went.
That is
And it was nothing but
amazing.
fun for me. Yeah, it was nothing but fun for me because all I wanted to do was sing. Still to
Hmm.
this day, all I want to do is sing.
Yeah,
So that's how I got here.
it's just amazing though. Them two songs were recorded before you even signed. Like
I know, right?
that,
Nuts.
it's so nuts because you always hear like labels, making you those hit songs,
Yeah.
but hearing that makes it so much better. Like just your journey. It's like those songs were made before.
Yeah, you asked me, how do you know that they were your people?
Hmm.
I think I felt it the very second that I met them and the way they spoke to me. They made me so comfortable. And I noticed that the second we went into the studio, they got like the best out of me. They were just pulling it out. And I was like, oh my God, because I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing
Yeah,
about studios and how all of that worked. All I knew was, singing in front of a band,
yeah.
to people. That's all I knew. I didn't know how any of that worked, but that's how I knew, man. They just made me feel like I was part of a family, and the stage was our home.
It's amazing. That it's like gives me goosebumps. It's just like
Yeah.
because it's like rare. I feel today. You don't hear like just true, organic, genuine. That's the hard part. People that are genuine, they really want to all succeed together, and not just for the
Yeah.
money. I know the money's definitely a thing, but
Listen, when it comes to money and this business, don't expect to be loaded.
hmm,
A lot of it is not real.
yeah,
Okay. Um, you want to make money, you gotta write, you gotta produce, you gotta be the name on that album. That name has to say written and produced by such and
yeah,
such. These kids nowadays, they really need to learn that. And back then, we had to be very, very careful.
hmm,
Um, they try to take everything. You're 13 and you don't
yeah,
know what you're signing, but you do it because all you want to do is sing, and then you find out later on in life, and that's okay.
yeah,
So my advice today, when you get your foot in there, just make sure that you stay close to your heart,
yeah,
stay true to your craft,
yeah.
and have a lawyer. Have a lawyer. Everything has to be in black and white, bro. You can't just run into something and be all excited because they'll grab everything they can from you.
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's so
Yeah.
crazy how you hear so many stories. Like you said, it's all a learning lesson, and yeah, it's just interesting. It's so interesting, I feel. But I want to ask you too, like you said, you recorded them two songs. So
Yeah.
how quick was signing then to the label? How quick was that?
Oh, I remember we were actually when we were being how do I explain it? This very small label called Personal Records were funding us,
Okay.
to record these two songs in the beginning. And then they got us put on a compilation album. And the one song, I Wonder If I Take You Home, was put on that compilation album and shipped overseas. So it took about a year and a half for it to come out here. Once it started being played out here in the States, because the DJs picked it up from out there, overseas, um, Columbia Records came to us and it was quick. They were like, we want you. So we signed. Personal Records was like, let's jump on this because this is the best thing. And we got Columbia. It was quick.
That is crazy though, how it's always I always hear that from so many artists how Europe or internationally picks it up first and then it comes back
Yeah,
home.
let me tell you, music out there is nuts.
Yeah.
They are so universal out there. They play everything. The club scene is crazy. How it used to be here, in the
Mm-hmm.
States. Club scenes were about everything. It was about music and people getting in there, to have a good time, listen to music, dance to music, and new artists trying to get their stuff played by the DJs.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen like that anymore.
And I so wish everything would come back home and like you said, just play the music. Don't matter if it's dance, hip hop, R&B,
Yeah,
just throw it all together.
man, I agree. I can't, I miss the time of the live band shows,
Yes.
and that's how I perform, 80% of every show that I do is live band.
Yeah.
Okay, the rest track gigs are always my tracks are recorded live. Like I record my band performing
Hmm.
everything and I sing over it. Never any vocals. I sing live. I have to throw that out there. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
you have to
miss
because
that.
it's
I miss,
rare. Hey,
yeah,
it's
I
rare.
miss the time of live bands and originality and really good lyrics, memorable lyrics.
Hmm.
Not about the butt and the bitches and the hoes,
Yeah. Those
Donna.
lyrics that put you to a place in time. Like
Yeah,
that's what I
right?
like a moment that you'll always
Absolutely.
remember. Like it's
Exactly,
rare.
because people will ask you, well, what were you doing on this and such, this day? What? I don't know,
No,
but you throw out a song, I'll tell you exactly where I was when that
it,
song came out.
like how I
Yeah.
said, head to toe. That reminds me
Yep.
exactly at a
Oh,
time. Like it's crazy how songs like today it's just different. It's just not.
it's not the
I'm not
same.
saying music's not good. It just doesn't
No.
bring me to times of where I'll remember. I feel
Yeah,
from
I
10 years
agree.
from now.
Listen, music is great no matter who it comes from. A hit is a hit. It's just, how do I say it? I'm such an R&B I'm an R&B head.
I'm the
That
same
I
way.
miss the 80s, man, because R&B and hip hop and pop music and freestyle and all that, man. Back in the day, people really, really focused on the music itself.
Yeah, it was
It
nothing
wasn't
about the
about the
music.
visual. Yeah, it was all about the music.
That's what it's so funny you say that because I remember from so many music videos from the 80s and early 90s. Like you said, music videos weren't, you didn't have a $2 million budget. It was half of the time artists on a
Mhm.
stage with the audience and they recorded it as a music video.
And that was your video.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and that's all you needed.
Yeah. Or we would like rent a studio for nothing
Yeah,
and just get in there and perform, live with the band and have a couple of, people dancing around
dancing,
with us. It was nothing major. Now I don't mean all the stuff that they got to do, you
right?
know,
It's so different. Yeah.
pyrotechniques, y todo eso. I know.
But so the first album's out. I want to ask you, like, between 1985 and 80, because your albums came out so quick. It was every 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, how were, how was it just like, you're promoting each album, so you're touring it, you're going, talk shows, you're recording
Yeah.
obviously new material for the follow-up that is, how was it just in that small amount of time you did so much and you released four albums between '85 and '91, like, and toured like
um,
crazy and was everywhere.
it's nonstop, and it still is. um, Exciting, and I loved it. The first album, we had 1 week to record it. I remember we were on tour already because it came out here, Take You Home came out here, and it blew up. And they threw us on tour, and we were like, okay, fine. We would be on tour, and we would go from the stage to the tour bus. We'd get to the hotel, we'd sleep a little bit, get on the bus, go to the venue, do a show, get back on the bus, drive to the next city, get to the hotel. I remember it was 5 o'clock in the morning, and Full Force is calling me on the phone. I'm like, guys, I gotta sleep, please. No, you gotta hear this. And they'd sing something to me over the phone, and we'd go into the room, into their room, or we'd go into the lobby and try to record vocals. We would carry portable recording systems and just start recording. We had 1 week to
One
get that
week.
out. I remember we were on the tour. When we got home, it took us about 4 days to finish it, mix everything, master it, and print it.
It's
Throw it out there.
insane.
So that's how it went. A year later, after that album was still circulating, and we already started saying we got to put another album out. We were on tour. About a month later, that next album was out because we were recording as we
Yeah.
went. Yes, it was nonstop for us, and let me tell you, I don't regret anything. None of it. It was the
I
best.
I love hearing that though, because I hear so many artists today, and I know mental health is a big thing,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
back in that time, I feel like you didn't hear the complaining. You just did it. Like,
We didn't
artists
have
just did it. You didn't have time.
we didn't have the opportunity to, and I'll be quite honest with you. I'm a cancer survivor,
Hmm.
and no one knew.
Me too. Me too.
Mwah, God bless you.
You too.
um, I would be on stage with like a Walkman thing with my chemo in it, performing, and I was afraid to let anybody know.
Yeah.
Every city that I went to, my oncologist made sure that she found a doctor to check me. And
Hmm.
we didn't have that opportunity to speak on it. We didn't have 1-800 numbers, groups that we can
Hmm.
console to. And let me tell you, medical technology was not the same then.
Yeah.
We
It
had
was way
almost
different.
nothing. So it was really, really hard. And what I'm saying is, back then, no one ever focused on personal
Hmm.
health, life, whatever it was. It was about the performance and getting out there to do it. And truth be told, that's all I wanted to do anyway. So I was going to do whatever I had to do to get on that stage. I wasn't going to allow anybody to stop me, from doing that, from my performance. And
Hmm.
that's why I didn't tell anybody, because I
Yeah.
was afraid they weren't going to hire me to get up on that stage,
Yeah, because you're like a
So
liability then, because they think,
exactly,
oh my God, she
exactly.
can't handle it, or maybe something
Yeah, you have to have
happens.
this and that ready for her to sign. It was a lot, but I don't care because I did
Yeah.
it anyway.
Right? And you're still here, killing it
Yes,
still.
thank you, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, it's so interesting to hear because, like, growing up listening to music, you never heard story. Yeah, you heard them here and there, but you didn't hear them as much as today. I
Exactly.
feel today, which I know it's necessary, but I feel like some artists just use it so much. It's like,
Yeah, I
just the
think,
music.
well, yeah, but I really, really think that it's important for all of this to be out in the open now. Let people
Hmm.
know, so that the audience, can relate and feel like you're real.
Yeah,
Because everybody's we're out there, and I remember getting my hair yanked because they needed my hair. Why? You don't need my hair. You don't. I'm human just like you. I
yeah.
feel like I hurt when you pull my hair. Don't pull my hair. So now, the audience is relating to us that, we go through it too. And the
Yeah,
same way we can find a way to get help, you can.
yeah.
And we can help them. I'm talking too much. I'm sorry.
No, no, I love it. Like you said, it's necessary, but it's just so interesting how back in time it just wasn't. It was like kind of like taboo. It wasn't spoken about. It
It
wasn't.
was no one, yeah, it was definitely good word, taboo.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just how it was, and you just went on, and it was just,
Yeah.
and like how you also said, when I look back now, thinking of artists before I got to start interviewing artists and doing this as my career, I would think of you as like untouchable, like they're just like a machine, almost not a machine. I know you were human, but like,
I
you
get it. I
forget
get it.
people,
Yeah.
they die, they bleed, they hurt. Like you were saying, they
Yeah.
have feelings. They're a human person. It's not, they're
Yes.
just on stage and this is all they do. Like they have a
Yeah.
family, they have, everything that we have. So, it's interesting looking back on it being young and just watching
Exactly.
TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so Head to Toe came out. So Head to Toe then, Spanish Fly came out. Well, Head to Toe came out first in I think March '87,
You
and
know more
then
than me.
yeah, March '87 was Head to Toe, and then Spanish Fly came out in May. So how was that? Like you said, you were already recording, and then Head to Toe blew up, like even more. Like how? Like, were you nervous for a second album? Because everyone has that sophomore jinx.
Well, I was always nervous because I didn't know what was going to happen. I still don't know what's going to happen. I'm still honest. I'm in awe that people follow, and we've got a great audience,
Yeah.
and that to me is awesome. That's dope. Um, I have to thank the audience because, my fans, they're the ones who keep me out here and they loved everything we did. And we recorded and released only music and songs that we loved. It was
Hmm.
all about a conversation, and that's how all the music was, produced and put out there. So, yeah, I was nervous, but I think the energy and the excitement of being nervous just made it all the better,
Yeah.
and that's how we put our music out there, and that's how we continue to do it.
Yeah, no, I love it. And
Thank
at that time too, and I know certain labels do this and certain labels don't, but did you have a lot of influence on your image and like the videos and
you.
your ideas?
Hell, you have no idea. People tried. I remember the very first video, that pink outfit, I cried. I was like, yo, mommy, my mom was there. I was like, Ma, I don't want to wear. She was like, you shut up and you put that on. I was like, because I'm a jeans and t-shirt kind of girl. I
Yeah,
wanted to be in my jeans and my t-shirt, my leather jacket, and my boots on my kicks, whatever. That's why the following album, that's the cover. You see me in jeans.
yeah,
That's what I wanted to do. Yeah, people tried,
okay,
and they still continue to try. But I have to tell you that I fight. I'm like, mm-mm,
yeah,
sorry, if I'm not comfortable, I'm not putting it on.
yeah, exactly, yeah. It's
And
always
if I don't
interesting.
like it, yeah, if I don't like the song, I'm not gonna release it.
Hmm.
I have to tell you that everything I've ever put out, everything I've ever recorded is out of love. You know, I really do love what I do.
Yeah, yeah. I want to ask you too, like okay, so when the last album came out, and then you did your solo project in '94, and
Yeah.
then you took another hiatus till 2009. How was it just kind of taking a break from like, releasing so much music? Because you were so young, you didn't get to live normal life, even though you were enjoying yourself, just to, kind of,
Yeah, I
start a
get it.
family and live
I get
life.
it. Well, funny is that I didn't think I was taking time off. I wasn't. I released the LL 77, my very first solo project.
Hmm.
And I was overseas for so long, putting it out there, uh, working with other artists and, doing the TV and performing and radio and everything out there. And some here in the States
Hmm.
that I don't feel like I ever did take a break. you know, um, I got married and I had two beautiful boys, and I never stopped. I never stopped. I have to tell you, my best accomplishment was having my kids, because they,
Yeah,
just made my heart grow bigger, and the love of music because of life itself, you
yeah,
know, they helped me with that. So, um, it was a never ending thing for me. I still to this day, I kept moving. After
yeah,
that album, everybody thought that I was, I took a break. No, I was working on TV.
Yeah.
I did TV for a while, and
Mm-hmm.
I did some independent films, still working. During the week I was filming, and on the weekends I was on tour. So it was never ending, never ending. Then the Life and Love album came
Yep.
out, and I dedicate that to my last manager, she passed away
I'm
of
sorry.
cancer as well. But with me, she had a good 22 years.
Yeah.
After full force, I was with her, and we worked through it, and that album was produced and recorded, with her. She
Mm-hmm.
wrote and produced, like, I think it was 60% of that album. I worked with really good people myself. Of course, I co-produced and wrote a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was nonstop, and it still is nonstop because the last day that I stopped performing was the day that they decided to shut everything down because of the damn pandemic. I was so mad. I was heading out to the airport to fly, to get to the next show, and they stopped it. You know, I've been doing everything virtually, doing
Yeah.
a lot of concerts virtually, and interviews, and still, filming.
Filming.
I'm
Yeah.
still
Right.
doing that. But it never stops for me,
It's
and I
never
pray to
stop.
God that it never stops.
I love that. Yeah, I love that about you. You always keep going, and it's nothing wrong with that.
As
Keeps you
long as
young
I
and keeps you
can,
going.
I want to be the Puerto Rican Lena Horne on the stage.
Right? Yes. Yeah.
Me.
Right. Well, I want to ask you, too, like so many artists have redone your singles. And I remember being in grammar school and I think in
Mm.
the beginning of high school when I was fighting people about All Cried Out because they thought
Oh.
that was a lore in 112. I was like, no. I'm like, and I only knew
Oh.
that because my mom told me that she's like, Nick, this is Lisa Lisa. I'm like, yeah, I know. I remember you telling me that. And I'm arguing with kids at school and they're like, no, no, it's a lore. I'm like, no, I'm not saying Lore did a great job of
They
redoing
did.
it.
I like
Amazing. I like both. But I'm saying
it.
this is an original from Lisa and the culture. And then I would show them, and this is before, we had smartphones. So I had to like
Remember
do my
that?
AOL dial up and somehow show on, I don't know how I showed it, some kind of way. And they're like, oh,
Exactly.
you were right, Nick.
Exactly.
And I'm like, yeah, I know who Lisa, that's Lisa Lisa. I'm like, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how does
Yeah.
it feel? And I know like Black Eyed Peas just released they remade your song. They put
They
like a
did.
sample, and they did an amazing job. Like, how does
They
it
did.
feel?
Listen, I'm honored and happy that they want to use my music.
Yeah.
Go ahead, do it. I'm really humbled because when I heard the Allure track, they came to us, and not only them, but I forgot the name of the two girls that did
Oh,
Move
Nina
Your
Sky.
Body. Yes, I love them. I love
Yes.
them. They came to us and they said they wanted to do that song, and I was like, go ahead.
Yeah.
And then, Black Eyed Peas, it wasn't the first time they did Take You Home too.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They did it
Don't
in our
Funk With
pre.
My Heart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
they
fuck with my
did
heart.
that.
Yeah.
Take You Home, and listen, thank you.
Right.
Keep it coming.
Yes. Keep the
Yeah,
legacy on and keep people
absolutely.
knowing. Like that's why I miss back not too long ago, but CDs. You could see when it would say like sample by
Yeah.
or they'll say Lisa in the culture. Like I miss because artists, some kids don't know that because everything's electronic or on the iTunes or streaming. I understand it, but
Yeah.
that's why I miss my physical copies to show people. Like, see, it says right here, sample. That's how.
Yeah.
Like that's the credit. But we lost a great artist. What a week and a half ago, DMX, and I remember when you originally posted that video. That was, I think, like a year and a half ago, and just seeing him, you know, singing and dancing to your song while you're on stage performing, and then I know you got to meet him then. How was that moment? And just like, it's a priceless moment, I feel.
Great individual.
Yeah,
Um, he said to me, I'm handing you your flowers while you're still standing. And I cried.
yeah,
I was like, what? I told him, you don't understand. I'm your biggest fan. He was like, I'm your fan. Okay. And I love your music. I don't understand how that whole introduction, and we were on the same gig. That gig that we were doing, he was
Yeah.
on it as well. And it was just crazy. So we hung out and I got to know him. I got
Hmm.
to really speak to him and know that he was so real, so
Yeah.
down to earth. He was smart. Oh my
Yeah.
God, his knowledge was crazy. He just knew a lot, you know? So he did a lot for hip hop, man. He did a lot for rap.
Hmm.
And God rest his soul because I personally feel that it wasn't his time.
Yeah.
But God has his own plans, you know?
Definitely.
God has his own plans.
Yeah. And one thing I love that he wasn't, you know how a lot of rappers or hip hop artists won't show them dancing or having a good time? He didn't care. Like,
He didn't
he
care.
was like, yo, this is my jam. Like, it was
Yo, we
so
hung
dope.
out after that night. That night we hung out. You know, we just talked and we had a couple of shots, and it was just, God bless him, man. God bless him. He was the best.
But and it's so funny because my good friend, his cousin, is his DJ, and I think you met him, DJ Nonstop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was saying,
Hey.
yeah, and it's so funny because I was telling him I'm interviewing the night and how we were. He was like, "Oh, that's the video she posted not too long." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Such a small world," and I know
Yes.
he's in Chicago. But yeah, what a moment you had to cherish too, though. That video, just
I
yeah,
was in shock. I was like, what? I was praying and praying that, he pulled through, but
yeah,
Manito, I think his body just didn't have enough strength to, ah, ugh.
yeah. It's crazy. Well, he's in a better place, and
He is.
yeah,
He is. He's a peace
hmm
now.
definitely. But I love that you, like you said, during the pandemic. I know you were doing this before, but I love that you still have merch and you're selling because I miss the merch. You go to concerts
Remember that,
sometimes, you don't have no
man?
merch tables. No, I'm
Oh,
like,
we do.
that's what I love. Like, because me growing up, I went to my first concert in '98, and I always run to the merch table right when I
Yeah,
get
me
in the
too.
venue. Yeah, I want my
That's what I
T-shirt
do.
or my tour
Yeah.
book or like an exclusive CD that's sold only on tour or at a show.
I
So
know some artists still that do the merch thing, and I'm glad that they do, and God
yeah,
bless them because I think that's how I meet my people, man. I
yeah,
love being there and signing things for them and taking pics, and talking with people because I get my advice from them, like musically, like what do you like, what do you want to hear, that kind of thing.
mm-hmm,
What are you looking for? And just to put it out there, I need that. That's
yeah,
my energy for my music, the fans.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I know you dropped in 2020. You dropped Rain. So
Oh, you heard it? I
yes,
only did it. I only did it simply because I wanted to.
and that's I love that.
Oh, thank you. We put it out. I wasn't expecting anything from it, but
Hmm.
it was a song that was written and produced by my girl Tony Minaj. She's been with me since she's 17 years old. She
I love
was
that.
my background singer and then my best friend, and she also is my musical director and now my personal manager. And she's with my team. Uncle Snoop is my manager,
Yeah.
yes. And I have Snoop and Bobby D from Bobby D Presents and Tony Minaj, and that team is the best. But that song is something that I heard her do, and I
Hmm.
was like, you gotta give me that song, and I want to put it out now. I just wanted to do it and throw it out there because I loved it so much.
Yeah, I love that. Like I love
Thank you.
how has it changed for you just recording, now from 20 years ago? Has anything changed for you or is it still kind of the same vibe?
To me, it's the same vibe.
Okay.
Only difference is that back then we were using reel to reel. It was tape.
Yeah.
And I remember the splicing and dicing for the editing. Today, you just press a button and you record.
Yeah. It's
It's still the same vibe though. You get in that studio and you talk, and then you start writing, and you get the musicians in, and this is what I'm here. This is what I hear. Can you play
hmm
this? And you sing it to them, and it's just all a good vibe of a conversation.
yeah. I love that. Like it's just so different, but it's so the same. But I miss my cassettes too. I
I
miss
do
my
too.
cassettes.
Remember that?
Oh,
How many times I had to renew them because I would pop them,
pop them. I was just say because they were pop. You have
right?
to go back to the record store. I used to
Yeah.
go to my Tower Records and Sam Goody and
Sam Goody Tower Records. Oh my God, I remember doing in stores. I miss that.
I miss it. Yeah,
I
like
miss that. See,
I
meeting
just
people.
yeah, I miss the
I miss
interaction.
all that. And the mom and pop shops,
Oh,
you
those are the
know?
best. The mom and
Ah,
pop shops were the best because they had
I
like
miss
every
them.
edition of every CD or special edition or stuff other places didn't have.
I
It was
used
just
to like
different.
meeting the DJs there because they were like, there was some underground, you know, record shops
Mm-hmm.
in Manhattan, like downstairs records and things like that. And I used to love just to walk in. I had my shades on and walk in and just watch. And
Yeah.
I would meet DJs there just to have conversations. I
Mm-hmm.
miss all that. Damn it.
I know that's why I just started my during the pandemic. I
Yeah.
started my because a lot of record stores have come up. So I have one. I bought my first one so far from y'all. I gotta buy. I'm like looking out. I've been looking on eBay, but I'm like I want to find them in person because I just miss purchasing. Like
You gotta come so I can sign that for
I'm
you.
gonna come May 1st.
You better be.
You're gonna be in Chicago, so I gotta figure out
Right.
a way. I don't drive, so I know it's a drive-in show. So I need to figure out
Come on, man.
how I'm gonna
Let's
get
speak
there.
to Tony and see how we could hook that up.
Yeah, whatever way we got to get a photo. And I'm vaccinated, so I'm fully. That's the good thing.
Call her, because I wanna meet you there.
Yeah, I would love to meet you. Like it'd be an honor. Like Lisa Lee, like literally everyone I told, I posted on like my Facebook, my Instagram. Everyone's like, "Do you understand who this is, Nick? Like, how do you even know?" I'm like, "Man, I'm a music head. I know Lisa. Okay, don't tell me just because I was born in '87. Don't mean I don't know music from the '80s." I'm like, I'm an '80s
Right.
baby. Okay, this
Thank
is.
you. Thank you.
But like you said, I know you're coming here May 1st, and you're coming. Well, people are asking where in Chicago. I think you're coming to the. I think
Um,
it's in Bridgeview.
Bridgeview. It's the drive. What is it
It's the
called? Oh
the.
my God.
Uh,
Listen, I'm gonna know far. You gotta get that from me.
I know exactly. I think it's the D. It's Julian Jumpin' Perez's DJ something, and you're the
Yeah.
headliner.
Yes.
Um, I'll send it on my. I'll put it somewhere. I know. I seen the post. I seen it right away when I was like, oh my god, that's only 2 weeks away.
Set it up. Set it up. You gotta come.
Yes, I'm definitely going to reach out. So we'll definitely set that up. But what else do you have planned for the rest of this year? Because I know you're getting back on the road, but what else for this
Oh,
year?
we got the phone calls already since they're starting to open up all the venues.
Yeah,
Um, Everything that we had planned the day that, because I was on a tour, I was on the Ladies of the 80s tours, myself,
yeah,
Jody Watley, and Taylor Dane. We're picking up that again.
yeah.
And we have a lot of, as a matter of fact, July 2nd, is it July 2nd? Yeah, that we're doing it's a freestyle festival, and that's in Cali. And that's by Bobby D Presents, and he's putting it out there, and everybody's going to be out there.
I seen
So
that lineup. That lineup is,
crazy.
oh my
So
God.
we're getting, I think there's more gigs the end of May, and once all that hat starts, we're gonna keep going for the rest of the year. I think I'm pretty much booked. So
It's
I'll
a
just be posting
blessing.
everything up. So look on my IG for that. Okay, and there's my website that's, in my bio, right underneath
Hmm.
my bio, you have my website. You can go on there and you get all the dates on that.
I love it. I can't wait to buy my merch in person on May 1st. Like, I'm excited because yeah, you can buy online, but I love just buying it, like giving my card or
So
my
we can
cash. And
meet.
yeah, and just like, it's just different, It's just
My
that
cat is
nostalgia.
talking to me. She's over there meow meow. What, baby? No, mama, you gotta stay
Oh,
right
that's what
there.
someone said. The house party at the drive-in Diva
Yes,
edition. Yes,
the Diva edition. Yes, thank you,
yes.
whoever that was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I can. I want to, Lisa. I want to thank you so much for this
Thank
opportunity.
you.
I can't wait to meet you May 1st. It's crazy. Like May's right here. It's literally.
I know. It's like a week away.
So this will be my first concert for the. Is it the year? Yeah, because I went to two drive-in concerts last year, and then so this
You
will be the
did?
first one.
Were they fun?
Um, they were different. It was different, but it wasn't like how could I say? It wasn't like dance music. It was well, no, I take that back. One was R&B, and I enjoyed myself a lot. It was like Pleasure P, Bobby Valentino. It was good. It was
Nice.
Lloyd. Lloyd was there, and then the other one I went. I'm good friends with Jennifer Hudson, and we went to
Can
Kiki
you tell her
Wyatt's
that I
show.
love her?
Oh, I will. I was texting her earlier than I was talking. She's like, "Oh my God,
Can you
Lisa."
please tell her that I love her?
Yeah, I'll even tell her about the show. So
I'm a
if
big
she's
fan.
yeah, I'll definitely tell. I'll text her right after. But I went to a show. We She's good friends with Kiki Wyatt, and it was like a gospel
I
show.
love Kiki. Oh my God, I love Kiki.
Yeah, so we went to that one first. That was my first like drive-in concert last summer, and it was different. I mean, it's just different because you can't interact. It's weird. Like I was backstage for both of them, so I was right by the stage, but it's just different seeing the crowds with still people vibing, having a good time. But it was just interesting to see this is possibly our new
That's
normal for a
okay.
little.
We're gonna
Yeah,
make you feel that show is gonna be so dope because I gotta get it out of my
right.
system, and I'm gonna make you feel like you are on that stage with me. Trust and believe.
Is that your first show back?
Yes,
It is. Oh my God, it's even 10 times better.
I'm so excited. You have no idea.
Yes, well, I'm definitely gonna reach out to Tony and
Please,
yes, set it
please.
all up somehow, some way. But
You will.
I want to thank you so much for everything you've done for music, for everyone. Like you are one of the legends, I feel, and like how DMX said, give your flowers
Oh,
while you're
thank
here
you.
because you deserve all of them and more. Like you are a
You're the
legend.
best. I appreciate you so much, so, so much. Okay, and
Thank you.
look out for my boot line. It's coming out soon.
Okay, awesome. Definitely. I love it. But thank you so much. Have a great week. Stay safe.
You
And
too.
yes, and we'll talk soon. I hope, like I said, can't wait to see you May 1st.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so
Mwah.
much, Lisa. Have a good one. Stay blessed.
You too. Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.